Basically, you all must have heard name of this girl, Disha, who had been from Oman, and currently she is studying here in Delhi with Maulana Azad Medical College. Right. So why I took her name, because she was a test prep CART student, and she was with Indian school SEEB, right? And she cracked NET, right? So here, in order to give any sort of reference, I would be taking her name because it would help us just to present the things to all of you in a much better way. So I believe that at this point of time, there
And
must be
for
two, three very
medical
important
examinations,
questions going on in mind. The very first question is about this NEET and I mean the central pool of quota and state quota, right? Second thing is that opportunity is existing only in India through NET or also outside India, right? Third thing is the fee that I have to pay under NEET, right? So that's also a very important question. So we will try to present all the facts to all of you so that after attending this talk, you don't patronize under any sort of myth or any sort of misinformation, because these things are very, very important. I believe all the parents who have joined their wards are either in grade 11th or in grade 12th. They have to write their NEET in 2020 or in 2022. So we all are in the same boat, right? So NEET basically is mother of all medical examinations here in India, which basically is a test of physics, chemistry, and biology divided into geology and botany. So there would be 180 questions to be done within 180 minutes, and each question would carry 4 marks. So 4 into 180, 720 marks, right? Second thing is that uh, you must be wondering with this question as what basically is the cutoff, so that I should be sure that by getting that cutoff, my child would be part of any MBBS or BDS colleges in India, right? Let me tell you that here it is divided into two parts, this cutoff story. Okay. The very, you all people are in category of NRIs or OCI or PIO or expatriates. So the cutoff that exists for expatriates or OCI or PIO is 339.5 out of 720. This is approximately 47%, right? I'm repeating it once again. It is 339.5 out of 720 for NEET. Now, this is the cutoff. I mean to say the minimum marks that gives you eligibility to get admission into one of the medical colleges here in India. And here we are talking about only the government medical colleges, right? The same cutoff is basically is 439.5 for those students who are writing NET here in India, right? So there is a difference of 100 marks. So for all those who are currently residing in Oman or Saudi Arabia or in this GCC country, the cutoff you have to get is 339.5 out of 720. So that is it. Now, let me tell you that NEET takes place every year in the month of May, in the mid of May, right? And the thing is that the filling of the form and everything, this whole story starts much earlier. Earlier, it was being conducted by CBSE, but now it's being conducted by NAT, National, Testing Agency. This is called NTA. I'm sorry for using NAT. It's NTA that takes care of JE as well as NEET, right? So at a certain point of time every year, they would be giving you the brochure. The brochure is released online that can be downloaded by going on NTA NEET website. And in that, all minutes are written. But still, I understand that there are a lot of technical points which is very difficult for all of you to comprehend, right? So as I told you, that NEET takes place every year in the mid of May, around 15th of May. Okay, that is it. Now, Let me tell you that, if we sum up the registration process of NET, it can broadly be divided into 5 parts. The first part is that you have to create your login ID, which is usually your uh, email ID, right? And then you go into that NTA NEET portal. Over there, you fill up all your details. Okay, all details are minute and to the point. It's nothing that you don't know or you would be struggling just to know with. That is it. Now you have to upload the scanned images of many documents that I would tell you. There are approximately, these documents can be divided into 8 points. And then this, you have to pay the NEET application fee, okay, which you can pay online. And then you can print the confirmation page that usually comes with a number, which is a unique number for your particular application form. That is it. So these are the 5 broad steps on the basis of which you can register for NEET online. Okay. Now, as I told you that please do not confuse this confirmation page with unique number with admit card. Admit card is always released 1 or 2 months before the examination, which is also online. You can go to your NTA NEET website, okay, and by going into your account, you can simply download it. That's it. Now, the documents which are required or the things which are very, very important from filling the form point of view, let me define this to you. Basically, you need to use a valid mobile number, which is very, very important. Okay. It could be of Oman, it could be of India, but make sure that you are always in touch and that is valid. Okay. And it should be live so that whether you are in India or in Oman, you can always access to that, because generally NTA NEET authority would be sending you all the information through SMS. They don't use WhatsApp and all this. Okay. Whatever information is important, they'll be sending this to you. Now the second is a valid email ID, okay, which will always work as your unique identity in order to enter into your account, which you have created with this email ID. Okay. Now third thing is class 10 details and class 12 details. I mean to say the mark sheet, certificate, school details. Of course, when you are filling out the form, your child is in it is towards the leg of grade 12, so you will only have grade 10 details that you can use. Okay, those who are taking an year drop, they can use their grade 12 marks. Okay, please remember that spelling is very, very important, especially the father's name and mother's name and the student name himself or herself, right? And then Aadhaar number, right? Those of you who have not I mean to say they have not got their Aadhaar, please do it, because without Aadhaar, you would not be able to register for NET. Okay, you need to use last 4 digits of Aadhaar. Then, the other documents which you have to use in order to prove your identity is basically class 12th roll number issued by the board. Okay, and then it's you can also use your election card. Maybe in case of your student it's not so relevant. Your passport number, your ration card number, if you have any bank account number, right, or any government identity number, you will have all the columns so that you can get into your account and you can fill up these would be required. Now most of the application form is rejected just because the image that you have scanned into your account in order to fill up the form is not up to the mark. So please do take care, because this the size should be the passport size photograph with a particular background in a particular dimension. That dimension can be found with a NEET brochure or test prep card website, how to fill up the application form and everything. Okay. And let me tell you that all the documents that you are scanning, right, you need to keep its PDF properly so that you can upload at the time of filling up the application form. Okay. And at last, the 8th document which is required is your credit or debit card in order to make payment, so that you can make payment. And do not forget to take print out of the confirmation. So this defines basically the cycle of registration. Now, what actually happens that Once you have filled up the form and you have printed your confirmation page and everything, after a week, NTA NEET authority, they would be opening a correction window, right? That basically is continued for a month, because you have to make some corrections, especially the spelling and all these, so that you can check, so that at last moment there is no hue and cry, okay, or you have not missed the opportunity. And after that, usually in the month of March, you can download your admit card. Regarding the center is in, since 2018, the government of India is not keeping center in Oman or in other places of the Middle East, right? And looking into the current situation, I don't think that in 2021 at least they would be keeping the center, right? So you need to travel to India, maybe the natural choice would be your home state or something. Okay, that is it. So you need to give 4 choices of center. Okay, if you don't get center 1, you will be getting center 2. That's it. So you need to fill up 4 choices of the center here in India. That's it. One more thing, looking into the current situation, this year the NET which is going to take place, earlier there used to be 1 meter of distance, and that was basically not to maintain a social distance, but just to keep the use of unfair means away from this whole system of examination, right? But now the government is planning to keep a distance of 2 meters at least. Let's see what happens. Maybe in that way, the number of centers would also be more. That is it. Now, when we are talking about home state and all these things, a very valid question comes to all of us, right? The parents ask that, okay, my child is eligible to write NEET, but in addition to that, for example, if I belong to Tamil Nadu, or if I belong to Kerala, Karnataka, Bihar, UP, whatever state, in India there are 26 states, and in addition to that, there are some union territories, okay, or central government ruled states. So along with NET, would I also be able to take advantage of my state level examination, or the colleges which are situated in my home state? Okay. Let me tell you how it works. First of all, you must know what basically is this 15% of quota, 15% of quota. Basically, each state of India contributes 15% of its seat to this central pool of quota, which is also known as AIQ, All India Quota, right? So now let me, I request all of you just to hear me carefully. So now let me tell you that here basically, first of all, you must know what basically is the total number of seats available in government medical institutions and private medical institutions for MBBS. I will separately tell you about BDS. So in government medical institution, currently there are 31,000 seats, right? In 630 plus government medical colleges, and in private medical colleges there are 30,000 of seats, right? So altogether you can say that there are 61 to 62,000 of seats available for MBBS through NET. And here I am talking both about the government and the private medical colleges in India, right? After MBBS, what is the total number of seats which is available for BDS, Bachelor of Dental Surgery? That basically in government colleges, it's very less. It is only 2,830 in government medical colleges, but in private medical colleges, it is approximately 8 times, which is 23,960, right? So approximately 27,000 seat and that 61,000 seat. Altogether, you have got 88,000 seats, right? Now, those who are attempting NEET in year 2022, for them there is a good news that Government of India by that time would have established at least 100 more medical colleges, which will give you availability of at least 1,500 seats, right? 15,000 seats. So the total number of seats for MBBS and BDS in government and private medical colleges, it would basically surpass at least 1 lakh. It would become at least 1,03,000. So there is no dearth of opportunity, right? Now, Let's talk about this 15% of quota, which is your quota because you are living in Oman or Saudi or Kuwait, wherever you are. Okay. So what basically the total number of seat available under this 15% of quota, which is your quota. What I mean to say that this is your quota because you would only be able to apply only through this quota. There is no other quota. This 15% of quota is also known as Central Pool of Quota or NRI quota or All India quota, AIQ. Generally, the right term is AIQ, All India quota. In Andaman and Nicobar, under this 15% of quota, reminding all of you once again, there are only 15 seats. In Andhra Pradesh, 285. In Assam, 108. Bihar, 140 approximately. Chandigarh, only 15. Chhattisgarh, 81. Delhi, 1100. Because all the colleges of Delhi, basically, they are in Union Territory. Okay, so all the colleges of Union Territory, they are in part of this Central Pool of Quota or 15% of quota. Goa, 135. Gujarat, 22. Haryana, approximately 90. Himachal, 90. Jharkhand, 50. Karnataka, 425. Kerala, 200. Madhya Pradesh, 125. Maharashtra, 450. Manipur, 30. Meghalaya, 8. Odisha, 130. Rajasthan, 225. Pondicherry, 22. Punjab, 75. Sikkim, 100. Tamil Nadu, 480. Telangana, 170. Tripura, 15. Uttar Pradesh, 300. Uttarakhand, 52. And then West Bengal is basically 320. Right? So altogether, you can check that the total number of seats which is available under this Central Pool of Quota, 15% of quota, is approximately 4,300. Right? Now, let's also check very quickly the total number of seats available under this central universities, which are also known as the deemed universities or Union Territory industry, Union Territory quota, right? In Andhra Pradesh, 50, Bihar, 100, and this is in addition to what I read you about 15%, right? Chhattisgarh, 100, Delhi, 107, Madhya Pradesh, 150, Maharashtra, 50, Odisha, 150, Pondicherry, 200, Rajasthan, 100, and Uttarakhand, 100. So approximately 1,200 seats and 4,300. So you have got an availability of 5,500 seats, both under NET, 15% quota or All India quota, as well as all the colleges of Union Territory. So this is the thing. Is it clear to all of you? I believe it's clear now. I believe it's clear to all of you, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Ashok, Mr. Namit, because this is very, very important.
One thing I would like to ask Kumar.
Yeah.
While you're applying for the NEET examination and while you put up your application, as you rightly pointed out, you have to need to select whether you are participating under this All India quota or the deemed university quota, right?
Yes.
So we will be given the choice to select the colleges as well, or just a quota itself.
Now let me tell you that All India quota, and you can apply to both All India quota as well as deemed universities, right? Because deemed university colleges are open for 100%, whether you are NRI, I mean, whether you are living out of India or inside India. That is it.
Okay. And let's say, for the sake of example, if I put up in perspective, I belong to Delhi, right?
Yeah.
So my daughter, I will take my daughter for NEET examination into Delhi. So I
Yeah.
will apply under this NRI quota of 15% for the Delhi colleges. And do I need to give choice? If I can't get able to get the admission in Delhi colleges, then I need to apply certain first choice, second choice, third choice, something on that line.
Yes, that choice is given. This is it.
Okay. Okay. And similarly, I will be given the choice for deemed universities as well in the same fashion, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
This was what I was reading just now, that there are 4,300 seats available under this 15% of quota, and approximately 1,200 seats are available in union territories and deemed universities. So your quota basically is now 5,500. In year 2021, let's see, however, the chances are less this year because of all these. But I'm quite sure that in year 2022, the number of seats under this 15% quota plus union territory quota deemed university, it would definitely go up to 9,000. That's it. The government is going to add more and more seats. If you want to take a near drop, which most of the students they do in case of medical examination, so it would be fruitful for you. That is it.
Okay, and what about what is the role of DASA in all this scheme?
DASA and CRWG has got nothing to do with the medical. That is only for engineering.
Right? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. So now basically we are coming to a very important point, which is known as the fee part. Okay, because that basically is a conundrum for most of the parents. Let me tell you, as I told you, that there are 26 states in India. Okay, so the fee, what basically would be the fee? Just like NEET is an standardized examination, right? Mother of all examination. The thing is that it is only for the distribution of seat, but as regards the matter is concerned with paying the fee, that basically is a matter of discretion by that particular state. For example, if you are here in UP, the fee is 2 lakh rupees or 2.16 lakh rupees for a 4-year degree of MBBS. That's it. And here I'm talking about the fee only for the government medical colleges. We have no idea about the private medical colleges. Right? So this is it. But if you go to Kerala, Karnataka, I mean, for 4 year here in UP, the fee would be 56 into 4, 2.24 lakh for 4-year degree for MBBS. Whereas in Kerala, it may be 6.5 lakh. In Rajasthan, it could be 26 lakh. In Punjab, it could be 42 lakh. So this varies state to state. But generally what happens that the fee basically is on a scale of 2 lakh to 22 lakh. That is it, right? So this is about the fee. So what you need to do, that if you visit the website of that particular state, especially the higher education in medical, over there you shall be able to find this fee part, right? That what basically the fee that you have to pay if your child gets into that particular state. That is it. In addition to that, there is one more important information, what I was telling, that in addition to NEET, if you belong to a particular state, for example, Mr. Rastogi said that he belongs to Delhi. So regarding Delhi, the truth is that all seats are part of this union territory quota, and this seat is open all India, all abroad, right? So you have no state level examination. But in the same way, if someone is belonging to Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Karnataka or UP, so here, in addition to NEET, you can also take advantage of the state level examination to whichever state you belong. For example, if you belong to Uttar Pradesh, whatever NEET quota is available for the whole NEET quota, whether this state or that state, that is yours, plus union territory quota, that is yours. And if in Uttar Pradesh, say for example, the state level quota and NEET quota, state level quota is also say 5,000 seats. So on the basis of a domicile, you would also be able to take advantage of that particular state medical examination as well as seats. And domicile is proved on the basis of your property or your ancestral property and all this. Either mother or father should belong to that particular state, right? That is it. But you would be able to take advantage of the domicile of only one state, right? Basically, it is defined by father's domicile. Yes, Mr. Rastogi.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
No,
just one question. Let's say if you are taking my example, I belong to Delhi. So instead of 15% quota of NEET, I will be eligible for the state quota as well. So I will be eligible for the 100% quota in that case, right?
Yeah, 15 plus the rest of the 85. That's it.
Okay. In addition, just for the purpose of Delhi, I'll be eligible for the applying under the 100% quota, right?
Yes, and not only
for the rest. Sorry.
Not only you, but everybody would be able to apply for full total number of seats for Delhi, right? That's a logical thing, which is coming out of this distribution of the total number of seats. That is it.
No, but if let's say I'm domiciled in Delhi, so yeah. The person who, let's say somebody is from the Karnataka, so he will be eligible for 100% quota of Karnataka, not for Delhi, right?
You're right.
Okay, and all of us which we are not domiciled in other state will only remain eligible for the 15% pool quota, right?
Yes. All India.
Okay.
That is it. Okay.
And what about these deemed? Sorry, I'll take just 1 minute more. Sorry. What about these deemed university quota? Like for example, you have in Mangalore. I forgot the name of the college. So they have some. Just a minute. I just tried to recollect.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is there?
No,
That's the.
Jipmer is in Pondicherry, if I'm right. If I'm,
Yes, you're right.
but I'm talking about the one in Mangalore, which is a
Yeah,
very famous one.
if I'm not wrong, that it starts with the name of Mahatma Gandhi. Something. I'm also. This is also escaping me.
Okay, so and these quotas are separate from the NRI quotas in the private colleges. Look, I'm just checking about the grapevine I've heard.
See, the thing is that, as I told you, that whether it is deemed university or any medical college that falls, under union territory, that is 100% available to NRI students. That's it. For example, if your child is in Oman, right, and if you belong to Uttar Pradesh, so 15% of NET and rest of the 85%, you can take advantage. But for Delhi, even your child can take 100 seats, all 100% of seats. That's it.
And that we need to put up specifically in the application form itself.
Need not put, because in Delhi or Union Territory, all 100% of seats are part of this central pool of quota, which is All India quota, which is 15% quota. That's it.
Sorry, I'm just taking a step back. You mean to say all the students, irrespective of the fact in which state they're applying for, they're eligible for daily seats, 100% seat. That's what you're saying, being a union territory.
That's what I'm saying, that whether you belong to
Oh,
UP or Karnataka, Maharashtra, wherever, but even your child is living in Oman, and if you want to apply to Delhi, so just like a student here in India is eligible for this 100% quota, in the same way your child is also eligible for this 100% of quota, provided that college falls under union territory or deemed university. That's it.
okay, so that means the person who are not belonging to the union territory have a special advantage of applying under the state quota as well.
Yes.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
And do we need to prove the domicile at the time of admission, or it has to be proved at some other point in time?
You need to write something about your domicile. You need to indicate, but the real document and everything takes place once the counseling starts. Over there, you need to show.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So this was basically, all about NEET. So in the month of May, it will start, and the result will be coming by the end of June, right? By that time, whatever state level or everything, you can also apply. Okay. Even the private universities, they would not be able to take admission without this NEET score. Okay. There is nothing is working, because now the Supreme Court and all the authorities, they are very strict about that. So please do not take any sort of risk, even if you are planning to go for this private medical colleges. Otherwise, any sort of risk or going, just because there are many people who would be reaching Oman in future, would be alluring you. So please do take care of this before taking admission to private medical colleges, whether MBBS or BDS. Please do check their affiliation and their reputation, right? These things are very, very important. Otherwise, there have been many cases where the child studied after giving a very huge amount for 4 years, and after that, the problem is that the college has still not got affiliation from Medical Council of India. So these are also the cases you should be wary of. That's it. So
Just Kumar, just one question. On the highlight thing you have just pointed out, you mean to say the colleges which are eligible for providing the valid MBBS application should be registered with UGC, and they should be affiliated to some government medical hospital?
it should be registered with MCI, Medical Council of India. That's it.
Okay. MCI plus they should be affiliated to some government hospital and all that stuff.
Definitely, that's the arrangement.
Okay.
Okay. So here, we have tried just to give you all the information, neither more nor less. So what I will request you that Mr. Rastogi has, the way he has been asking question, if anybody has any question, you please feel free just to ask this question to me. I would be.
Yes, sir. Thank you for this information. Just I want to know, there is any NRI quota for medical?
Sir, this NRI is, I mean, we definitely use in jargon and we call NRI because we live in Oman, Kuwait, UK, wherever it is. This NRI quota is basically 15% of quota, right? And I would also request you that once we speak for the analysis session, we would be able to share that document with you that defines the state-wise quota or 15% of quota, right? That is it. So for that, what we will request you that please give your right email ID over there. Okay, all 4 5 participants.
So the fees will be same as Indian students, or the fees are going to be different?
You are living in Oman, so definitely your fee is going to be different. That's it. But as I told you during my course of talk, that it varies state to state. One state may ask you for low fee, another state may ask you for higher fee. Right? That is it.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Just thank you for very good information, which is valid for us.
Thank you.
The only question what I've got is, could you let us know probably when we need to apply for the NEET through online, as you say, when the site will be kept open?
Generally, this will be coming in the month of December. That is it.
December.
Yeah.
Okay. For this academic,
NTA, NTA NEET authorities, they would be issuing the brochure and everything. So the process starts with collecting your brochure online. That is available on NTA NEET website. Please go and download that. I mean, you can do this in the month of December. Then, after a month in January, they would start the application process that you can again do online. And this is continued, your filling of the form and everything, the whole process that we defined over here for 1 month. And again, they would be opening a window, which is called correction window. That is once again continued for 1 month. And then again, in the month of March, you would be able to download all the your admit card. And definitely after the examination, you would be traveling here in India in huge number, all the people who have to write NEET. So that in the month of May, in the mid of May, you would be writing this. That's it.
Very fine, sir. Thank you for this information. Just one more question. Is there any possibility of this NEET being conducted in Gulf or in Oman as a center study, as a examination center?
See, regarding that, we gave you the information already during this course of talk. I will request all you gentlemen just to send your email ID on this chat, right? So that, once we speak with you on Monday or Tuesday, then we also need to forward some very good and technical document to all of you. So it would help you, right? So as regards the center, I was telling you that since 2018, earlier it used to be there, the centers all over abroad, but now it's not there. Since 2018, since last 2 years, it has been stopped. We have no idea why it has been stopped, but of course it has been done. But now just because of this COVID-19 crisis, let's see what happens, whether this year, most probably the government would not be able to put, and again in the next year, because the local government would also not be very much receptive, because they don't have a culture where people in such a large number meet and write examinations. So let's see what happens. So if there is a center abroad, I mean in Oman and all these places, you would definitely be able to know it through through the brochure. That's it. Let's see what happens. We need to wait for that time.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your kind response.
Thank you. Sorry,
Am I audible?
Yeah, fine now. Please tell me.
Yeah, the name of the college which I was trying to remember when we spoke about the quota system and the union territory, it was Manipal in Mangalore.
Yeah.
So what I was wondering is, I have heard from grapevine that there is something called the NRI quota in Manipal. So if you are not able to get through, in the worst case scenario, if you're not able to get through NEET process, then based on the minimum qualification marks, they can give you admission in the NRI quota. What are your views on that, and how realistic it is?
Private university, right?
Yeah.
Right. So in private university, this is what I'm telling, and we all are Indian. We also know that a lot of things are distorted. Of course, whatever you have heard is correct. That is it, and it's all about money. So that is completely up to you what decision you take in order to go into those places. That's it. We have less idea about these private medical colleges.
And sorry, I'm just trying to peep in more. And as you have rightly given the bracket of the various fees level that from 2 lakhs to 22 lakhs or 25 lakhs in the government colleges in all over India. So if let's say in the worst case scenario, if we're trying to get into these private colleges, so it will be certain number of times of these fees, if I can say that.
This is what I'm telling you, that we don't collect information about these private colleges, right? We have no idea about that, as what fee they take, how they take. I mean, that's it. So
Okay,
would not
thank
able
you.
to make any sort of right comment on that because I have no idea. That's it.
Okay, I got the underlying message. Thank you.
So thanks to all of you, all you gentlemen. Thanks for joining.
Hello, hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, except this quota, is there any NRI quota in government colleges?
See, this quota, which is called 15% of quota or central pool of quota or all India quota, is the another names of NRI quota, right? That's it.
No, I came to know that like Manipur and other, there is separately, we have like in private colleges, there is separate NRI quota also we have.
Private medical colleges, they may give you all the seats in the name of NRIs, right? Because
No, not private. In Manipur government colleges, I am telling. They have some this NRI quota separately. I heard it.
see, even if this is what I'm saying, that you must have seen the number of seats in Punjab, right? So Punjab is
Yes.
a state that
Yes.
also gives NRI quota, but see the number of seats, it's only 15, right? Where most of the people from US and Canada, they come and they purchase this seat. So it's very exorbitant.
Okay.
Maybe that Manipur government has also done the same, but this arrangement is not you know, a proper arrangement or a prevalent arrangement in other states of India.
Oh.
Even if that is like a fig, that maybe 5 seats are there. So what difference does it make? Not that much. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, may I question you, please?
Yeah, please,
Hello.
Mr. Kar.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
If I can hear you. Mr. Thomas, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I just one question regarding the seats in CMC, Vellore. Is there any reservation for the Christian quota around 15% of this NRI? Is it applicable for CMC as well? Do you have any idea about that, sir?
Yes, that is it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, good evening.
Very, very, very.
My daughter is interested in paramedical courses. So, does she has to attend the same NEAT exam in India also?
No, for paramedical education also, you do not. Right, there are called B nursing or B pharma, etc. That if you want, you can look at that. Hello.
Hello. And for abroad also, is it the same procedure? And what are the exams they have to appear? Like in Singapore, NUS, do they have a paramedical courses and same NET exam they have to give, or is there any other exams for that?
Yeah. Now I think you all can hear me clearly. So what I was telling, that the examination that you have to write for different countries. Basically, let me tell you that if you are planning to send a child for medical colleges in US, okay, it is next to impossible. So please don't try. They do not encourage to come to the US, at least for undergrad level. Okay. Now, if you want to send a child to UK, United Kingdom, in that case, you need to write examinations which is called, BMAT or UK CAT, Biomedical Aptitude Test, and United Kingdom Clinical Aptitude Test. This is for UK. If you want to send a child to those 14, 15 universities in Australia and New Zealand for this medical related courses, you need to write an examination which is known as ISAT. Okay. Now, BMAT, UCAT, and ISAT, let me tell you that these are aptitude tests. It has got nothing to do with biology, chemistry, and physics. Rather, the models of these examinations would be what? English, mathematics, decision making, logical reasoning, etc. Okay. For Singapore, for paramedical colleges, you can go for SAT1, which I told you is all about math and English, right? Even, there is a very good college in these days. It has been open since last 2 years in Doha, Qatar. It's Carnegie Mellon, which the prestigious Carnegie Mellon in US has opened in Qatar, that education village in Qatar. So they would also be accepting through SAT1 and SAT2. And if you are in Saudi Arabia, then there are many Saudi Arabian universities which would be admitting the child only on the basis of SAT1 and SAT2, which is about biology and chemistry or biology activities. So this is the whole scenario approach. That's it. One very good option is there that if you want to send your child to some prestigious universities in Europe, okay, which are 6 to 7 in number, okay, over there you need to write SAT2, physics, chemistry, and biology, SAT2, physics, chemistry, biology. So this option is also very good.
Kumar, just a very elementary question. Sorry. What is the difference between MBBS and paramedics?
See, MBBS is all about the human anatomy and everything, right? Go inside the body, okay? Whatever is related to the human anatomy, right? The anatomy and molecule, I mean to say blood and molecule, salt, that is about MBBS. But paramedical is something which assists, a patient. I mean to say it could be B Pharma, it could be, the radiology, everything which is inside, pathological lab, right? It is also about nursing. So these are called paramedical courses, which are not
understood,
but something which is parallel to medicine, which assist in mainstream. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. So I think we have,
Hello.
Sir, can I ask one question? The last one. Hello, do you hear me, sir?
I can hear you, Mr. Please tell me.
Yeah, my name is Muthu. Actually, I'm calling from Qatar. We belongs to Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Actually, I got to understand that for NRI kid, we have 3 options, right? State quota and deemed university and private university in NRIs.
Yeah.
So even though we have NRIs, we should be a minimum cutoff is required, right? Now, we cannot simply pass the exam and get the seat, right? How it works? How much minimum cutoff we required?
So this we have already covered during this course of talk, but for your sake, I'm repeating it once again. That the cutoff required out of 720 is 339.5. That is it.
339.5.
Yeah, approximately 47%. That's it.
Okay, so 330 score should be minimum required.
Yeah, 340 out of 720 is the cutoff that would give eligibility to your child, not guarantee. Okay, just to get admission under this All India quota.
All India NRI quota. Okay. Okay.
And
thank you.
And does this changes from year to year? Like what we are talking about 2021?
It definitely changes, but it doesn't change so drastically. Maybe 3 months down. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
And one more question, sir. We discussed about, you said about UCAT, ISAT and all. It is totally different from NEET, right? It is not academical exams. But how difficult to pass this UCAT and all for our kids, ISAT and UCAT? Because if you look for
okay, it's a very good question. NEET is all about your subject proficiency. If you are good at physics, chemistry, and biology, you are champion, right? Whereas these, which I said, UCAT, BMAT, and this ISAT, SAT1, these are all related with your aptitude, right? So if your aptitude is, the tools are math, English, logical reasoning, and all these, right? So the thing is that this is the basic difference between NEET and ISAT, UCAT, BMAT, SAT1, blah, blah, blah. You got it?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, one more thing, that in NUS, do they have to appear for SAT1 only, or they have to give SAT2 also?
I think maximum for SAT2, you need to check. They may ask, they would definitely ask you chemistry and physics, but not maths, etc. SAT subject test, chemistry and physics.
And in India, for paramedical courses also, do they have to attempt NEET exams?
What I am saying that you have a state level test, which is generally known as B Pharma test or B nursing test. That is it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Or can you throw some light on SAT1 and SAT2 specifically?
SAT basically is conducted by collegeboard.org, and it is divided into 2 parts. SAT1, which is also known as SAT General, which is a test of 2 modules, math and English, altogether 154 questions. to be done within 210 minutes. It takes place 5 times a year. There are lots of centers in Oman and all over the Middle East. SAT-2 is basically known as SAT subject test, which is basically a test of 16 subjects as per your choice. It is about physics, chemistry, math level 1, math level 2, and biology. So in physics, there would be 75 questions to be done within 60 minutes. Chemistry, 85 questions within 60 minutes. Biology, 100 questions within 60 minutes. Biology is divided into ecology and molecule. And math, basically math level 1 or math level 2 will have 50 questions to be done within 60 minutes. So in order to prove your aptitude, go for SAT-1. That's the first door that you have to crack. And in order to prove your proficiency in that particular subject, you need to go for SAT-2 as per the demand or requirement of that university. That's it.
Okay. And what all colleges in India are offering this biotech course, which is
the list basically is comprehensive that you can search from our website. That is it.
So there are other courses in addition to biotechnology which we can pursue in addition to the MBBS.
I'll tell you that if your child has taken physics, chemistry, math, biology, then there are 6 IITs, Indian Institute of Technology. They have started a course which is known as biomedical engineering, right? And the advantage is to those students who have taken biology at grade 11 and grade 12, right? Then you can also apply for genetics, which is very prestigious. You can go for chemical biology, chemical engineering, right? You can go for biotechnology, biomechanics, biomedical, right? So there are a lot of things which are now touching, through these courses, and these courses are very prestigious. Of course, India is not the right place to study all these courses. You can go.
That's the question, yes.
Yeah, the best place is US or Singapore or Canada, etc., which have got very good infrastructure, and these have got very good faculty. And the best examination is to write SAT-1 so that you can take advantage to go to these universities along with, scholarship. That is it.
Okay, and if I need to get more detailed information on this, so would you be able to provide me in one-to-one basis, or how do you prefer to do that?
No, see, we can give all the information because our system is for our students, and we love to give information. For others, they may demand money from you, but let me tell you that everything stops over here. We don't demand money or anything. If you want it, we have it. We will definitely give this to you and everyone else, right? So for that, kindly wait till Monday or Tuesday when we connect with you, and then on your requirement, we will definitely try to send whatever documents are possible so that you all are benefited. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay. So
thank you.
Time is over, and we believe that we have tried to keep it simple and to the point objective, so that you know everything in a very objective way and to the point, the thing which is matter of your concern. So thanks for joining all of us. We request all of you just to take the best of care about yourself, and thanks once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and same to you as well. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.